how do you continue to feed this relationship? Because we know that mentorship in a lot of ways in all ways is a two-way street. Some people come to a surprise, a shock of that at the end of the day, but it's a two-way street. So how do you grow that mentorship? How do you create that? How do you help each other expand on personal and professional as a mentor mentee?
I would say, I think for me, Gerald, when you talk about your plant metaphor, right? I think the mistake most people make is that they overwater this plant. I mean, it's a lot of water. So that's all the water. And I think it's people confuse frequency of contact. It's like, oh, that means like this is working, right? If I talk to you every week, can we make this a bi-weekly or can we make this a weekly? And I'm like, hell no, why are we talking so much, right? And same for me as a mentee. Like, I think what it needs to be is, again, if we go back to plants, every plant has a different need, right?
Mhm.
And so as we think about that, there's sometimes a revving up and a revving down. And what you owe to your mentor is your own self-reflection to understand, what are we trying to get to? And what do I need to get there? And then how can I be helpful to them and what they need as well? And deciding what that frequency looks like and cadence and quality and holding true to that, right? So I have a mentor now who we have also a friendship. Therefore, there's frequency. There's a lot of talks, right? We talk a lot.
Yeah.
But then when I truly sit down and have the mentor hat with her, that's probably twice a year. So the feeding is that a friendship is what keeps us going and connected and allows me to have the capital then to ask a favor or ask a question or have her help me in certain ways. But then you have other mentors who I need a lot of time up front, and then that's really it, right? And it's expectation setting as well, so that you're holding yourself accountable and them accountable to what you need. But the slippery slope is confusing the fact that if I'm not talking to them all the time, then they're going to one day just forget about me and this isn't working.
I love the word cultivation around it, right? Because this isn't necessarily something that you owe each other, right? This idea of mutual investment, I think, Trey, you touched upon this. And I really like the idea of creating opportunities for us to share areas of interest and using that as a way of helping them get to know me, especially in those initial stages of the relationship. And I think about this in many ways, like as somebody who coaches students on their professional development as well, when you're setting on this relationship journey with somebody, you're really trying to engage them on content, on things that are valuable to the both of you. And the little reminders that I try to use are when I spot an interesting article that I think might be appealing to the person that I'm working with, this potential mentor or a mentor, I try to send that along, because what it says to them is that I am also invested in their interests. It's not just, can you help me all the time, but I'm watching out for you as well. And I'm opportunity spotting. I'm thinking about things that maybe we can even set as a dedicated agenda item for our mentoring sessions. And that's really helped grow, I think, both the personal and the professional intersection of the relationship. And like Trey, and I'm sure like Victoria, many of us have the relationship with our mentors that are somewhat of a meld, a hybrid of professional and personal, right? For most of I would just as soon send something slightly inappropriate and funny to one of my mentors as I would an LinkedIn or Medium article on something that we would both find valuable. And that space is, I love holding that space, but it is work.